and girls, it's time once again for the Guys Weekend Podcast. I am Josh Shenny, along with, as always, he is a marvelous human being, salt of the earth, the dirt that fills the gardens, that gives life to the world. Brandon Parks.
That'll work. I'm the shit, basically, is what you're saying. I'm fertilizer. Fills the garden.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I made a grave mistake today, approximately 18 minutes ago. I had Taco Bell for lunch, and I haven't had Taco Bell in quite some time, and I can already tell I'm losing a battle. Like, my stomach is just. I was sitting here right before you got on. I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. Why did I do this? This is. So I might lose. I might lose my own bet. I might have to chalk this pair up to a loss and move on. We'll see though. Hopefully not.
Yeah, that could be rough.
Yeah. So work's not getting any better, I take it.
It's not that it's bad. I'm just working a lot
of shit. That'll happen. Mother's Day last weekend, threw it down at SDHI. Had some delicious food. Ate some garlic steak bites and smashed taters.
We had a lot of authentic Mexican food last week.
Ooh. Went
to a local eatery for some Mexican food, and your stomach can't take artificial Mexican food.
Yeah, my
stomach can't take real Mexican food.
It's just terrible.
It's a lot to handle.
I agree. We just had we have a new hibachi place. It's not a new hibachi place. It's a second location in North Canton. And it's not hibachi in the sense of like you're going out with your family and sitting down and, you're getting the fucking shrimp in your hat and onion volcano, yada, yada, yada. It's more of like 3 gooks in the kitchen and they're just slapping shit together in to-go boxes. And they're like, here you go. And we had that, was that right after Guys Weekend? We got home, I think. Oh, my Lord. For like the next 3 days, just couldn't do anything right. Like just a big lead weight in my stomach. I'm like, wow, like I feel terrible. Like I felt good leaving on Sunday from Guys Weekend, not super hungover. Came home, showered, which was glorious. The grime and grit and it was great. But man, hot wasabi just fucked my gut up. Terrible. That's how we know we're really getting old.
Yeah.
We used to be able to eat this shit all the time.
That cast iron lining that we used to have in our stomach is completely degraded.
Just burned away. All the hot sauce I've eaten over the years and just fistfuls of M&Ms at 2 a.m, floating around in a belly full of beer. Just doesn't bode well. It's unfortunate. But I guess that's how you learn. Or
do we? Because we keep doing it.
Yeah, I've got my M&Ms sitting over there next to my bed right now, so I'll probably have a few of those this evening. The beer, on the other hand, I don't know about. The local Eagles here is having their member appreciation party, and they're providing food and a DJ and drink specials, yada yada yada. And I asked Maggie, I'm like, well, you don't need to go to that. She's like, oh, well, I thought we were going to go. I'm like, nah, it's all right. So then
she might have a problem.
Yeah.
She might have a bit of a gambling problem.
Yes, she does. And she's going on vacation next week. So she's either got tonight or Monday to get her gambling fix in before she goes to Virginia. So she gets a call. I get a call at work, and she's like, oh, well, what are we doing Saturday? I'm like, we literally just talked about this. I'm like, I don't know. Probably nothing. I said, binge watch Supernatural, clean the house, do some laundry, play some video games. Nothing. She's like, all right, well, Jesse and Aaron are going to come over. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, well, they're gonna get a pizza, and me and Jesse want to watch this new movie that came out on Netflix. I'm like, well, count me out. It's called XO Kitty XO. I'm like, yeah. As soon as it started with XO, I'm like, yeah, I'm out. I'm good. She's like, oh, it's gonna be a really good movie. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it isn't. So I'm just gonna fuck off upstairs and gonna go for a grom ride here now that the weather's cleared up and it's not raining cats and dogs out. And then it dawned on me that as I was coming back up the steps from getting my Taco Bell, the topic of, hey, we should drink tonight came up. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. So does that mean that we're going to end up at the Eagles? Stay tuned to next week's episode to find out, but probably. We'll probably be there. It'll be a fucking nightmare. Actually, last Monday was a pretty good Monday at the Eagles. We bought out the rest of the little crack tickets, and if you buy it out, you automatically get like $100 off, like whatever the total is. So there was like 215 in there, and there was 5 of us. So it was $115 or $112 to buy out the whole bin, and we ended up drinking for free. So we each won like $8. So we just put the $8 towards our $22.50 tab. Drank 30 beers for free and 5 mixed drinks and some brandy. It was great. I was like, wow, look at the Eagles paying us to make bad decisions.
I had what I would think is the equivalent of a personal hell. 3 14-year-old girls staying the night last night. Terrible.
Almost makes you just want to go back to work.
Yeah, it did. I thought about it. I was joking with the wife. I was like, oh man, I think I gotta work Friday night. Now we typically shut down Friday night until Saturday morning, and I was like, I think I might have to work Friday night.
Graveyard shift,
and stay there until Saturday afternoon. They're all gone. Not they were bad. Like they weren't. They stayed up in the room the whole time. But it's just like I don't want to be responsible for other people's kids that I can't beat the fuck out of if they're being dipshits.
That's fair. Have you met the parents?
No. Well, one used to be my neighbor.
All right. Yeah, that'd be a tough call.
Not that I beat the shit out of kids, but I like the
no, just in case. Yeah.
I like
keep the pin strong.
I like to have that. I like options.
Yeah. Right. They're gonna listen one way or the other.
So a buffet. I like to have my options when I go to a buffet. Your kids come here and act like shitheads. I don't want an option taken off my table.
Right. Yeah. Because your kid's going to go home learning some new words with or without a bruise or 4. Whatever gets the point across, I guess.
Oranges in a tube sock, man.
Correct.
Allegedly.
So we hear. What do 14-year-olds do at a sleepover nowadays? Like, I feel like we had a lot of fun, like video games and
I mean, girls.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten there with the boy yet. That's probably coming this summer, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like a mini guys' weekend with no booze, a lot of farting, a lot of inappropriate jokes, everybody laughing at the word penis.
I don't know. The boys got one friend that anytime they do something that he doesn't want to do, it's like, you don't like me anymore. You guys hate. Like, like a complete gaslighting twat.
Ugh. What a scrub. What grade's he in?
He's going to 6,
right? Yeah.
No, 5th. He's going to the 5th.
Okay. Yeah. That kid will be fucking toast in the next 2 years, and he'll find somebody cooler.
Hopefully.
Trying to think back. I didn't really have too many sleepovers. But, like, I remember getting off of work, drunk as balls, going to Tice's house, and then we would leave the house and steal street signs and stuff like that. I guess we were a little bit older then, but we were like 17. But still.
Yeah. I think it's mostly going to be video games. Maybe do like a...
Prank calls anymore? Is that a thing? I haven't seen a phone book in probably a good 2 years. So
I mean, you think it'd be a lot easier to do prank calls now because you can
that's
just
true.
block your number.
Yeah, kind of takes all the fun out of it, I guess. Then, adolescents,
knows?
kids
I mean,
these days, I'll never know.
Who's got a landline anymore?
Pap is the only person I know that has a landline. Just because they said nobody else can have that phone. So he's like grandfathered in from I can't think of the company. One of the big telephone companies that was here in Northeastern Ohio in the fucking 40s. 50s, whatever. That company owns that telephone, even though they bought it. That company went out of business. So technically, Pap, if he goes to get rid of that phone, has to give it back to the business and can't sell it to anybody else, or it can stay active as a house phone. And that's one of the old rotodial ones. Yeah. So that one's still kicking. Maggie's grandma has a house phone too. Yeah, starting to see a trend here. My dad still has one. Hey, who the fuck knows if it actually works? Probably just bill collectors. The amount of dust and shit over there, I guarantee it doesn't work. Something got in there and fucked it all up. Batteries don't work. Something. Just ruined it.
I keep a landline to get that's where I do all my business dealings off of a landline.
Yeah.
Because you figure it's got to be really easy to wiretap your shit now on cell phones and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, for like landlines and shit, you gotta almost like get into the actual
residence.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's how that. Oh man, here we go.
Unless you tap the shit outside, you could probably tap stuff on the pole. But
where's Magoo?
Yeah, how do you find the correct line and all that?
Yeah. Magoo does all of his business dealings from now on through, smoke signals and a rotary phone.
Fucking pigeons. I'm still all about that, by the way, training pigeons to carrier pigeons. It's not a very expensive hobby to get into as long as I can keep them alive. And I mean, doesn't seem very hard to do. And would probably only take about 2 to 4 months to have them fly to up to 4 different locations.
So I'm reading and rewatching the Harry Potter series again.
Mm-hmm.
And how useful do you think those owls would be?
Oh my god!
For a drug dealer, like a small scale. And I'm not saying like you're not smuggling like hundreds of thousands of kilos across the border, but
not
like
moving weight.
A little 8-ball Coke.
Oh my god, it'd be perfect.
Yeah,
like it would be ingenious. Which I'm sure there's probably been some drug dealer in the history of drug dealing that has used birds to deal drugs. Probably still do, honestly. Why we haven't seen a movie about it, I don't know. Maybe because they haven't been caught, or birds aren't real. One of the two.
Yeah,
it's a toss up.
Yeah.
So jury's still out on that one. Speaking of jury's still out, the news basically came out and told the American public that half of them were right and the other half were completely batshit crazy and lying. Came out and said that there was no collusion with Russia and there was no yada yada. Basically, just exonerating Trump from everything that they claimed he did, and basically said that there's 11,000 plus hours of footage they wouldn't release from January 6th because it would indict and show that undercover FBI agents were working there and inciting panic and doing wrong things inside the Capitol building. It's like, man, the fact that this shit can, like, you could come out on national television and be like, yo, I concluded my research. My everything is done. This is what you just paid me $500,000 to do over the past 3 years. And y'all motherfuckers were clearly wrong. And nobody gets held accountable for it. Everybody's been fired, but nobody's in jail. Nobody's burning shit down in their front yards. It's absolutely astonishing that can happen.
we've said it before. Like you have to think that something was up when weeks prior there are emails sent in to the Justice Department about something happening January 6th, and the president puts in multiple requests for protection for Congress on that day, and Congress officials turned it down.
It's just crazy. Like the writing's on the wall, and the fact that people still believe that there was nothing wrong with that there was nothing that, oh, it's all Trump's fault and this and that, regardless of what side you lean. The facts are right there, black and white. They came out and told you, like, hey, no, like, this is crazy. And people still believe it. It's nuts. And then I seen who's the last living Kennedy? Yeah, whatever that guy's name is, John Jingleheimer Schmidt, whatever, fucking Kennedy's still alive, came out and said that the FBI was the government was the one that killed JFK, and so it's getting there. I also heard something kind of interesting on Joe Rogan's podcast. It was just an excerpt from the author that I like, Jack Carr, who writes the Terminalist, all those books and all that. And Joe Rogan said he enjoys the time period that we're living in because we are the last generation before robotics become part of our livelihood. Like cyborgs are walking among us. Is that wild to think about? Like in the next 10 to 15 years, there could just very full well be some robot working at the gas station and
it says there aren't.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, they're testing them out now.
I mean, you've seen Katy Perry completely.
Yep, this is true.
Rewire her, get rewired live on air.
Yeah, those are just like those are the first gen models. Like think how far they've come since they've put those out into the wild. Like how much more detailed and like lifelike. Oh man, oh fucking Skynet, baby, it's here. Oh my God, it's gonna be wild. See, but then my mind wanders because there was also an article that came out that said that they understand and they acknowledge the fact that there is something out there in space that they are going to be dealing with within the next 10 to 15 years, which is why they made the Space Force. I know a lot of that has to do with like asteroids and shit like that, but it still leaves the door open there for those that believe extraterrestrials could be a thing. Nah, who knows? But if they're so worried about space and this and that and solar flares and EMPs going off, why would they implement robots to walk among us? Unless they run off of something that can't be affected by an EMP. Man, where the fuck's Alex at when we need him? Actually, I know where he's at. He's in Washington State, visiting with Ronnie and Jessica and Pap and Deanna and all those.
With our last episode, I've been waiting for 2 weeks.
Fuck! I wondered if he still hadn't turned that in.
Yep.
Damn it, Alex. This guy. It's hard to find help here at the GWP. It's Mike Rader, Fairball Effect, just dropping the ball. Haven't had Brad and Zach on to talk about House of the Dragon. These fucking schmucks doing? Like, come on. Chuck has a near-death experience and finding out he only has one kidney, and now all of a sudden he can't be back on the show because he's doing a fucking triathlon or some shit. I mean, good for him, but come on, man. What are you doing? That's all right. It's the calm before the storm, before we take it to another level and GWP just rocks the bells, as they say.
So I wonder how so Magoo's never going to play the new Fallen Order
Oh yeah.
New Star Wars game, right? Because he can't watch that dude without thinking about getting railed on.
Yeah. He says that now, but I think once Bert starts getting into it more and he starts playing it, I think that'll change. I think he'll end up getting the new one, or it'll be on Game Pass or whatever, and he'll down. Oh, it's for the boy, and then he'll play it a little bit and realize it's pretty cool.
And Magoo goes, "See that, son? That is called a power bottom."
We're learning all kinds of things today.
So did you see we were told that Fast X was going to be the last.
Oh my god.
movie.
I actually took notes this week, and that's right down here on when do they stop? When come on, man.
Never.
Like I'm trying to think of the last Fast and the Furious that I enjoyed that wasn't super far-fetched. And I think that was the one where Paul Walker died. So that was 5 movies ago.
So Fast 5. That was when
the last
we were breaking.
What? No.
I can't.
6.
I can't.
I think I seen Fast 6. Let me look it up here.
I think Fast 5 was like the last one where you weren't going.
God damn, Fast 6 was in 2013. Yo, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Holy Christ.
So I don't know if you've seen the new Guardians of the Galaxy.
I haven't seen the movie yet, but
so I'm not. This isn't really a spoiler. At the end of the movie, Groot, throughout the whole series, all he says is "I am Groot," and it means different things. Everybody can understand. Well, in Volume 3, the fans at the end of the movie hear Groot say, "I love you guys." And the reason for that is because now we are a part of the family. And then I just look over at my wife and says, "See, Vin Diesel's still doing shit for the family."
He's still doing it for the family. Son of a bitch. So according to I just fucked my shit up here. According to Google, Fast 7 would have been the last one that Paul Walker made an appearance in, which was 2015. I don't know that I have seen Fast 8.
I've not seen. I don't think I still seen Fast 7.
I've seen
5. I've seen 6.
Been a long way.
No, I got a thing. You know how long it took me to see the Dark Knight after, because Heath Ledger died like right after, or right before it even got released. It took me like 2 years after that to be able to watch a movie. I have a hard time watching things, people that the actors have died in recently.
Yeah. So I've seen 8. I don't think I've seen 9. Damn, am I really this caught up and I just haven't fucking paid any attention to anything that's been going on? Yes, I didn't see 9 because that's when it was all about family and they're like they get like the superpowers and stuff. That to me was kind of weird. So then, like the 8th is when I think they get like, because Jason Statham's in that one, Hobbs and Shaw,
yeah,
and they're kind of like super juiced up gym monkeys, and they can like, I don't know, do some stuff. It was weird to me. I'm like, okay, now you're just kind of getting out of the, like the first Fast and Furious movie was so good because it was just super cool little rice burners doing shit that's believable. You're street racing, you're hijacking semi trucks, sweet. And now all of a sudden these guys are like fucking knockoff superheroes. Like, come on, man, I don't want that. Let me just show me the cool cars, do the cool shit. Because I think Fast. Did you say you seen Fast 6? Because it was one with Ronda Rousey.
I saw Fast,
and they were fighting in Dubai.
5.
I think.
Yeah, and then I saw Fast 6. Fast 6 was when they were going through like Ecuador and shit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they would drag the safe along that bridge and shit. Yeah, I saw Fast 6.
And they did the little loop-de-loop there.
Did not see Fast 7.
Okay, so 7 was good. 8 was good. Yeah. So now we've got 3 more movies coming. How? Like how do you? I don't get it. Now's like I can think of a couple other franchises of movies that I would rather see them continue making more because it would be a good story rather than just beating the same shit to death. It's like Grand Theft Auto 5. You're just come on, quit dragging it out. Just give us something new,
Is
something fresh.
GTA 6 on that list today?
It is.
Did you hear that rumor?
I did. I don't believe it though.
No, nobody does.
I don't
Nobody
believe
does.
it. I'd like to, but at this point, it's like, you're just cock teasing me because you've been doing that for the past 5 years. I believe that the new Elder Scrolls will come out before Grand Theft Auto. And Bethesda came out and said, "Oh, we're we're a few years away from that actually coming out." So they say, even though they said it was supposed to come out next year or the year after that. How about the big kick in the Nardos for all the people that paid $70 for Redfall, and it absolutely flopped. Like, I was excited for this. Me and Brad were texting back and forth about it because we were both kind of pumped to play an open world game where you get to hunt down vampires, and Arcane's pretty good at those types of games. Now, since I have Game Pass, I've been playing it for free, and I didn't really have to. I didn't have to suffer along with everybody else that paid $70 for it. But the frame rate capping at 30 frames per second when you're launching this on the next gen console, that was noticeable right off the bat. There's a lot of just sloppy gameplay in there to where things aren't making a lot of sense. It's very repetitive. The enemy AI is just super easy to get around or shoot. Like, half the time I just walk around with a pistol and I don't even have to like aim. I just keep the crosshair in the center of the screen and I strafe left or right, and it's just boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot, which it's satisfying. But after the 9th or 10th time, you're like, well, that was fun, I guess. So that sucks. I feel bad for the developers on that because they talked it up. They showed such great promise for it, and they just, they got everybody all riled up for it, and then it flopped. Which,
do you think it could be a matter of, same with like Cyberpunk, right? Where there's so much anticipation that the fans just got to a point where they're like, release the fucking thing already.
I think so, partly, and partly not, because I think I read an article or listened to somebody on YouTube talk about it that they had that the people from Arcane Studios were like, we don't want to push this game out before it's ready, which is why they've pushed it back twice in their release date, because they wanted it to do well and this and that, and then it still took a big old shit, and it's like, oh no. So maybe they thought they had a better game than what they did, and
is the storyline all right?
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, I find myself skipping a lot of and that's the other thing too. Like, the cutscenes are they're like, did you ever play the Walking Dead video game where it's very like comic book-esque?
Yeah.
Where they just kind of like put the characters on the screen, and then they disappear, and then they pop up with just more. That's basically the whole thing. And I'm like, no, that doesn't really let you get to know everybody and interact with.
So it's not really. It's not. You were hoping for something like Fallout.
Yeah. Or more like Far Cry.
Yeah,
because that's what it kind of looked like with the scavenging and all that stuff. That's what I was hoping for, with a little bit more like gusto. And I guess it kind of makes sense why you don't have a super personal story with it, because you can choose any of the 4 characters and they plug you into the story, and it's all pretty much the same storyline. But they could have done a little bit more with, I don't know, indulging you into the story. It was all right. I mean, I'm glad I didn't pay $70 for it. That's for sure. I'd be pissed. But it's fun, upgrading your guns, and you get to all the little like vampire things you get to do, and fighting vampires. Like when you go and take down a nest, it's pretty fun. It's you're spamming the shit out of buttons and healing and rolling and shooting and diving, and it gets you a little sweaty, but And it's just kind of like, oh, I guess I keep walking around and looking for things to kill. Which I guess lends a lot to now. Is Bethesda going to shit down their leg with Starfield, which is supposed to be out in September 6th, I believe. I don't see Bethesda doing that, dropping the ball like that. They might. I know they came out and said that you can have sex while wearing a jetpack in that game. So, I mean, there's something for people to look forward to. That'll be the first AAA title to go live on Game Pass. So, I guess we'll find out. Hopefully not. Hopefully, and on the opposite side of this, you've got Zelda and those fuckers over at Nintendo that know exactly what they're doing, and they're just absolutely kicking ass with the new Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and it's just mind blowing that
they said I read an article, definitely this best selling initial release that Nintendo's ever had. I believe they said maybe already the highest revenue video game in Nintendo history.
That's wild. I mean, think of all the Nintendo games that have come out, and like this one's knocking them just out. Boom, 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 climbing that list. I know I've seen a lot of shit on just online, Facebook and Instagram, and even on YouTube of all the game reviewers and people going through it and all the stupid little videos they're putting on there about how you can build things now and use whatever the special powers are to make vehicles, and people are making like fucking robots and shit that flies around and drops bombs, and I'm like, hold up, I thought this was like isn't Link pretty much like Zelda's knight kind of deal? And I've never played any of the games, but I thought that's what it was. He was her defender or whatever, and now we're making fucking robots out of stones and moon rocks and kicking the shit out of little cows and stuff. I'm like, well, it gives you a bunch of stuff to do, so that's cool. Good on them. How do you think the new NCAA game is going to go? I think that comes out. It's supposed to be next year, right?
I thought it was supposed to be this year
or end of this year. Yeah, for next season.
Yeah.
I know they were opting in to let the players have their likelihood and that they would get paid. So I think that's going to cause a little strife. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what EA might be paying more money than what they're going to take in on that.
Didn't EA say like they're the number one, like they're the highest grossing, like game developer, game publisher out there, like right now?
I mean, I guess because they release things that aren't under the. There are things released out there under EA that you wouldn't even really think about.
That's true.
I was reading a thing because they go under because they only do the EA logo when they're doing like sports shit.
Yeah.
But people don't even remember that EA stands for Electronic Arts.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll do the elongated, it's an unabbreviated version of their logo.
It's a big umbrella of games that fall under their bullshit, which is cool. I know they're putting this is the last FIFA game, I think, for this year. It's supposed to be on Game Pass.
So look at this. Unravel, the Unravel franchise.
That game was fun.
Sea of Solitude is an EA. Rocket Arena.
Sea of Thieves.
Obviously, the Mass Effect, Titanfall, and all that.
I wish they'd do another Titanfall. That game kicks ass, man.
Burnout.
Oh yeah, Burnout Paradise.
All the Sims games, Wild Hearts.
Yeah, there's a lot. That's like 80%. I don't know, maybe not 80%. Probably like 65% of the EA Game Pass library is EA Game Pass library. I mean, there's a lot of fucking games on there.
Plants vs. Zombies series.
Yeah. Fuck, there's like 4 or 5 of those. Damn.
all the Sims, but like it's fucking it's nuts what their library is.
Craziness. I know they don't have Five Nights at Freddy's, do they? Uh-oh.
I don't think they have that one.
My whole screen just went black. I don't know what's going on. Am I still on there?
Yeah, I could see you.
Oh, we're back. Man, what the fuck? Goddamn technology. I know they do have a new Five Nights at Freddy's coming out, and my nephew loves playing that game. And every time he's over here, we've been playing video games over here, so it's been like 2 or 3 times. He's like, "Oh, I think you should get this game. Oh, you should get this game." I'm like, "Grant, I don't know how to explain it to you. I'm not paying $70 to have the shit scared out of me playing a game. Like, I already have heart problems as it is, high blood pressure. I don't need to pass out or punch a hole in my screen because of a jump scare, and I scream like a 9-year-old. But if you want to play it, you're more than welcome to. But that's not for me. That's not Uncle Brandon's speed. We were brought up differently in video games. I was yelling at kids your age and telling them they were adopted while smacking a 12-pack of Mountain Dew and wiping the Doritos crumbs off of my controller, and not playing these more methodical, sneaky round puzzle games. And that's that. So I said, if you want to, play some Call of Duty and yell at kids, you can do that too. Just don't get me banned. Which he's not going to say anything worse than what I've ever said on there, allegedly.
Man,
I also seen something too. Sega is talking about charging $70 for their games. What the fuck was the last game that Sega came out with that was worth anything? Sonic?
last game? I thought they weren't they teaming with
They do something like Street Fighter,
Nintendo and shit for a while.
Bando Namkai. I don't know, but I'm like,
They don't have any. The problem with, in my opinion, Sega, main difference between Sega and Nintendo is, Nintendo has a larger IP than Sega does. You're really hitching on Sonic.
still.
Yeah.
Bring back another NBA Jam.
So I think NBA signed a sole agreement with 2K.
Oh.
Because I think the last the NBA Live was like 2021 or something like that.
Damn. Well, that was always a fun one. I wouldn't mind an NBA Street Volume. I think there'd be 4 now. I think there was 3. Those games were fun. I was okay at them.
Yeah, Sega's title list is all the Sonic the Hedgehog games at the top, and then
just a smattering of bullshit.
Yeah.
All those games where you played like the little monkeys that wore the white hats with the little red topper on it, and you danced along to the music and shit. That's the only thing I can remember from Sega, and that was actually on PlayStation, but that was like PS1. Just stop it, Sega. All right, go do something else. Help Amazon out with this fucking Lord of the Rings game, maybe. I don't know.
I think Lord of the Rings is I think that's an EA IP.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Look at EA. Just their dicks and everything. Good for them. Oh no. I can hear my neighbor. That bastard's out mowing. He's trying to get one up on me. It just rained. The audacity of this man.
Hey, it's been pouring down here all day. There's no grass cutting happening today.
Damn it. You can see from the window. It's shiny. It's so warm, in fact, that I can smell the pee that's on my windowsill starting to heat up. So it's gone from 48 degrees and raining to warm and smelly. Damn, I can't believe that guy. Did you see the new Lego Batcave that's coming out, by the way?
Mm-mm.
Holy shit, it's so cool. 3,918 pieces or something like that, or 81 pieces, or not. It's like 4,000 pieces. $400, and it's modeled after the Michael Keaton's Batcave from back in the day. It's super cool. I'm like, damn. I was trying to work it into the conversation with Maggie of like, hey, did you ever play with Legos when you were a kid? Drop $400 on this and I don't know, put it together. Because then I'm like, what am I gonna do with this fucking thing? Like, where am I gonna put it? I guess I'd figure that out after I made it, but I think that'd be super cool. I can put it right behind me.
Have shells all over my basement.
Shit, that'd be super cool. We'll see. Maybe if we do end up going to the Eagles tonight and I get lucky and hit 300 on a pull tab, I'll just throw caution to the wind and go ahead and order it. Just do it up. Oh, speaking of throwing caution to the wind, I did that approximately a year ago, almost 15 months ago, when I sold my last trigger to a coworker. And that motherfucker has still not paid it off. And I get online this morning to check the balance, which I planned out pretty good with my Jew math on like, hey, I can have all this paid down by the promotional period ending so I don't get slapped with the 30% interest or whatever the bullshit is. So I had it planned out, and as it was looking, if he would have paid me the money, I think I would have been like $43 short. Whatever. Cool. Here's $50, and I was good. Like I didn't have to. Everything would have been paid for. So I get down there this morning, and I'm like, all right, I'm pretty sure I have until the end of May to do this. So my remaining balance as of like Monday, whenever I made the payment, was like $1,548.95, whatever, $1,550. I'm like, sweet. So he pays me the $1,500. I'm good to go. $50 out. I don't get cracked with the interest. I get on there this morning because I get an email saying, "Oh, your statement's ready." I'm like, man, that was fast. My fucking balance was like $2,400. I'm like, whoa, guy. I called them up and they're like, "Oh, well, your promotional balance ended, I don't know, whatever it was, May 13th or something like that, and so now you have to pay $790 some in interest." I'm like, man, fuck you. Like, no. So I kind of schmoozed my way out of it, which the dude still hasn't. He still owes me like $800. So I called him up and I'm like, hey, I said, I was just waiting until payday. Like, I've got the money. Is there any way you could waive this fee for me? Because Maggie was like, well, most credit lenders will do that if you call within 30 days of when the promotional shit was supposed to be done. They'll usually waive it for you. And I'm like, it's worth a shot. I call him up and she goes, so you're saying that you can pay off the $1,550 whatever today? I'm like, yeah, if you're not going to charge me $800 in interest. And she goes, you know what? We'll go ahead and waive that for you. I'm like, fuck yeah. So now I'm about to go on a ground ride and kick down this dude's door. Yo, guy, I needs my money and I needs it now. You son of a bitch. Fuck. That was me doing the last kind-hearted thing that I could do and not being a real prick about selling things and not having money for it. So, ne'er again. I will have money up front. Unless I know you. Fuckers.
So word going around is the new Indiana Jones is pretty solid.
Really? I just read this morning that it got a 4 out of 10 from IGN. And it said it was one of the worst films made and that they should have left the franchise alone with the last flop of a movie starring Shia LaBeouf.
I don't know. IGN gets hit or misses a lot.
I agree. I still think it'll be good. I seen that Harrison Ford stepped out with his wife to go see it. I'm sure he enjoyed it because he's in the movie for probably not the whole thing, I would imagine, but good majority of it.
Gets I believe he got like a lifetime achievement award or something at Cannes Film Festival for his for Indiana Jones, I believe.
Nice. I seen they reached out to Michael J. Fox and asked him about a Back to the Future reboot. And he was basically like, hey, I already got paid, so do whatever you want.
Yeah, he said it doesn't need to. But...
Yeah. Good for that guy. Man, now I got to see Indiana Jones. Hey, did you go see the D&D movie?
No.
So it's on Paramount Plus.
Is it? That's what I was going to look at. There was something else that I hadn't had a chance to go see in theaters. It's coming out on HBO Max here in the next couple of days.
Max? Since they're dropping the HBO now, which the fuck's that all about? I read the email, but whatever. Fuck them. I seen that Air came out on Amazon Prime, and I'd like to watch that. But then Rhonda was like, hey, have you seen that movie called Air about Michael Jordan's tennis shoes? We should go see that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, we can go do that. So go see that in the big screen. Just because, I like tennis shoes. So that'll be interesting. Other than that, there's not too many other movies other than Fast 10, because apparently now I have to watch Fast 9 and rewatch Fast 8 because I don't remember it, and help Dominic Toretto save his family for the next, what could probably be 6.5 years before they have the rest of the movies done. So that's good, man. That's good. Is Gal Gadot going to be in all of them? Because I'll go see it then.
I don't know if she's in the last one.
Oh, fuck.
So we finally got a release date too for this year for the Continental.
Yeah.
September 22nd.
Isn't Ballerina coming out this year too? Or is that next year?
Not sure.
Because Ana de Armas is in the Continental too, I believe. But Ballerina is the spinoff. And John Wick Keanu Reeves will be in that show, which is pretty cool.
Sometime next year.
That I will have to see because she's awesome.
Rumor also has it that Keanu Reeves was making a special trip to France to talk to the John Wick director to see if they can get the ball rolling on continuing the franchise.
Sweet. They did say that in I don't know, whatever the article was that I read, that with the director said they would go to Tokyo or whatever and sit down and drink some finely aged scotch. Discuss the future. Have you seen it yet?
Not yet. It's on my list of things to do.
Yeah. I'd go see it again.
It's hard to do. I feel like it's hard to do action movies in today's world. I just feel like there was a point in time between like early or mid 2000s to like 2015 or whenever like they really started, hitting their stride on the next couple Fast Furious movies.
Yeah.
That, action movies kind of took a downturn. You had the Expendables and shit come out.
Mission Impossible.
Tom Cruise wasn't doing the action movies anymore until he redid Mission Impossible.
They started that back up.
But like those took a downturn. I'm actually really excited for the Mission Impossible movies, and I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan, but Mission Impossible movies are
those are
solid.
Sweet. You know what I haven't seen in a while, and I think it'd be really cool. I guess that's kind of John Wick, but there hasn't been just like a straight up martial arts movie made in a while. Like I think back to like Bruce Lee and Jet Li and Jackie Chan when they were doing all their shit, and like you had, what was that, Red Dragon, Enter the Dragon, or whatever it was, and Jet Li was in Cradle to the Grave, and he was in fucking Lethal Weapon and all that. There hasn't just really been like other than Shang-Chi, which I guess was kind of more Marvel martial arts, but just like a good.
I mean, I guess you don't have like a real prominent. That's the kind of movie that kind of took that back seat. Is they're going straight to DVD or straight to streaming type of shit. Also, your biggest money draws for that Jet Li and Jackie Chan are,
Old as
50s
shit.
and 60s now,
Yeah, they're not. Man, there's not really any young dudes that are into martial. Well, except for the great, probably the greatest actor to ever play this role, ever, Jake Gyllenhaal, as one of just the star of Roadhouse. I mean, man, good for him. He's doing his martial arts thing in there, and it's gonna be great.
You seen the trailer?
No, is it out?
Yeah,
Was it all right?
it's like a teaser. This is all right. I'll probably watch it, just see what I can pick apart on it. But
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch it though. I'm gonna get a fresh pair of blue jeans and a really skin tight fitting black t-shirt and some boots, and I'm gonna watch it. And I'm just gonna yell Roadhouse and just kick the shit out of everything. Maggie's gonna be so excited. I just start kicking the shit out of stuff. Oh, fuck.
Now, just make everything come full circle when Mel Gibson and Danny Glover get back together for Lethal Weapon 5.
Yeah. I seen a little clip or some pictures from Bad Boys 4. Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. So I think that'll be good, just because they're funny. As long as they don't try to go all PC and everything. Do you think they're gonna try to like throw something in there about the Chris Rock slap? Where there's just like a scene where he like smacks the shit out of somebody, or like Martin Lawrence makes a remark about somebody's wife or something like that, and I feel like that's going to be in there somewhere.
Probably not. So did you see Chris Rock's new stand-up special?
Yeah, and he fucked it up real bad.
Yeah.
That's what they get for doing live Netflix specials. Can't edit it out. He just got so flustered. Poor guy. Terrible.
Also saw the final trailer for The Machine that comes out next week. Bert Kreischer's.
Yeah, I never watched the stand-up on it.
Oh, it's
funny.
a solid stand-up special.
I have to give that a go.
I think all of his shit's on Netflix too.
Yeah, because Chuck and them were telling me about one, The Cabin, I think is what it was. He's on he does like a stand-up from a cabin in the woods or something, or it's like
it's not he does
like an 8-part series or something.
Yeah, he does a getaway because he's like, so he tells his wife he's so stressed, and then just does stupid shit at this cabin brings in a bunch of guests to come up to the cabin with him, and they talk about their life and do some shit that's supposed to relieve stress, and it just ends up giving them more stress.
That sounds great.
I watched like 3 episodes of it, and I was like, all right, I've had enough. Each episode's the same because he had like he had like Caitlyn Jenner on one episode.
Come on. When you don't know what to get your dad for Mother's Day.
So
schmucks. All right, well, I'm gonna go fight off this Taco Bell.
All right, so for Brandon Parks, I am Josh Shenny. This was the Guys Weekend Podcast. Good night.
Good old Stingray.